Hello, hello, hello. Hello, everybody. This is Agladio here yet again. You know, I made a challenge for myself to do this vlog every day I study. And doing the vlog every day or almost every day because I'm not going to study every day is very hard. But studying Japanese is even harder. And yet, I gotta say one thing to you. The people who know Japanese, they don't deserve any respect from you. And why am I saying something so controversial? Well, I'm going to start with one simple thing. I know three languages, and even though I am fluent in all of them, though on different levels, I also believe that I don't deserve your respect. Simply doing this really shouldn't be enough to get a medal. And what I see the most on this community is people saying over and over again how they are the best, how they deserve a cookie, how they deserve a medal, how they deserve everything from you. And the last thing you should give a narcissist is your attention and your respect. What I have been seeing a lot also is people basically hyping uh, other people, uh, but not really other people. And what do I mean by that? They keep saying, oh, anyone who knows Japanese is just so good. Yeah, they deserve to have their dicks sucked. And they go and say, and I am that person. So we really come to the point uh, where people are doing this. They are so shameless that they are doing this. And although Japanese is very hard, you don't deserve that. I can guarantee you don't deserve that. In the same way that I guarantee that I don't deserve any of that for studying a language for 5 years. And okay, but why shouldn't you do that? Because there are certain consequences, like people thinking they can do whatever they want just because they know Japanese. In the same way that Logan Paul thought he could do anything in Japan just because he had a lot of money and because he was famous. So you end up having many cases where the person ends up thinking they deserve everything, they deserve the whole world uh, for just knowing Japanese. I met a guy in Japan uh, who was into those make a lot of money books, those self-help books from many people like Rich Dad Poor Dad and Napoleon Hill, and the guy basically thought that the world owned him the money, and so there were very weird occasions where he would set something up, like a restaurant, and so it would fail, and he would blame the whole world on that failing. Like, in one occasion, he made a restaurant, but and he at first it was really successful because it was in front of a factory, and the food of the factory was very bad, and so he got a lot of customers thanks to it. But then the factory started closing the gates, and so nobody could leave anymore, and they had to eat from the factory's cafeteria again. And because of that, he ended up failing again. It was yet another failed business. And because they did that, they he ended up blaming the factory and blah 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 blah. But if you think carefully, it's not really all on the factory, because he still had the rest of the city to feed. He still had the rest of the city as customers. But when he had to compete with the rest of the city, with the other stores, with the other restaurants, then he lost. And so he ended up very bitter about it. And he was someone who kept saying, "Oh no, but you see, I even talked to the person who knew everything about that stuff, and blah blah blah, that person who knew everything about doing a business, who made all the papers for me, and blah 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 blah." And he was someone who really knew Japanese. He was able to do the papers. And because he was so competent on that area, on knowing the language, he ended up thinking that the entire world owned him that. And it got to such an extreme level that he ended up making another idea of a food truck. He tried to sell that to the owner of the factory, and it didn't work out as he expected. The owner of the factory basically laughed at his face, and he got very angry and quit the job right then and there. And that was basically as far as I know. I don't know if he failed again, but he probably did. And so we end up getting these unbearable people, because this is not the only case. This is just the most extreme case. Because I kept saying many other cases like this of people trying to belittle you because you don't know Japanese, and like I know Japanese, but your Japanese is not that good. You know these words? You do. Then can you read the newspaper? You can. But can you read a book? You can. And so always trying to find an excuse to belittle you. And it's just so ridiculous to a point, like saying that just because you need to pause a little bit to talk. Like this is a thing that even native speakers do. And and we end up like this. And say no, you are not that good. You are not that good. Like even if that's true, you don't need to be that good. You only need to be as good as you need to be. Like, I don't care if I am C2 on English. Like, maybe I am, maybe I'm not. I already did a test a few years ago that said I was. But guess what? I don't care. And I don't see why people care that much. Except for the few people who are teachers and etc. But we keep seeing these people who gain nothing by doing that, who gain nothing by being C2, and they are all like, hold on, I'm just the hottest thing in the world. So like, yeah, that's basically why you should stop uh, worshipping these people. Because learning a language is not that hard. It just takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of patience, it takes a lot of effort, it takes a lot of concentration, but mostly it is time. It is mostly time. And if you have a lot of time, you can lack all other things. Because I learned English in 5 years, but that's mostly because I was just playing around, I was just joking, I wasn't taking anything seriously. And so uh, that's why I took so long. But when I started taking things more seriously, like with Spanish, then things started getting a little bit different. And so I learned Spanish in basically 2 years. So you don't need to care about being uh, C2 or C1. Like you should only care about being B1 because B1 is the very least to be able to communicate. But when it takes when we start talking about living on the country, about fitting in, like the other people of the country, they don't really care if you are C2, because I met many people, many foreigners who started living in my country, and I didn't give a shit about their accent, about how much time they took between sentences, and that's it. And that's basically it. So, yeah, I guess that's it. So long. Bye bye. Goodbye.